Hello and welcome back to our review question bank for physiology. I did get some feedback that the prior questions were a little advanced and to tone things down a little bit this time. Sorry, I do get a little excited about physiology and like to come up with some fun and interesting questions, but I can get a little ahead of myself at times. Sorry about that. So we're diving into lecture 3 today. This is the physiology of aerobic versus anaerobic energy, VO2 max, oxygen deficit, EPOC, and even some skeletal muscle structure. So here we go, 10 questions. Let's jump right in. Just to review, this is all about Bloom's taxonomy, trying to get you to go from the basics of remembering and understanding into the higher levels, but some of those higher levels ones are harder, so some of these are going to be lower down towards those level 2 areas, but these are important ways to think about how to study. Here we go, question 1. During steady state aerobic exercise, fuel use gradually shifts towards which substrate at higher intensities? Is it A, fat, B, carbohydrate, C, protein, or D, ketones? Hopefully this is straightforward, starting you off with kind of an easy one. And the answer, yes, is B. At higher intensities, the body prioritizes carbohydrates because they can be metabolized more quickly than fat, and that supports faster ATP production. Question 2. Which event marks the point at which lactate begins to accumulate faster than it can be cleared? Is it VO2 max? Is it EPOC? Is it OBLA? Or is it ATP phosphocreatine depletion? And that answer is C. This is another kind of lower level, level 1, 2. This is the OBLA, onset of blood lactate accumulation, and that's defined as the point where lactate accumulation starts to outpace that clearance. Question 3. Which structure stores calcium for release during muscle contraction? As you can see, these questions are fairly straightforward and hopefully kind of easy. I'm trying to smooth things out from the 2 prior videos that were maybe a little more challenging. T-tubules, sarcolemma, sarcoplasmic reticulum, the SR, or mitochondria? And the answer is C. The sarcoplasmic reticulum stores and releases calcium ions during that excitation-contraction coupling. Question 4. Which filament is composed of a twisted chain of proteins covered by tropomyosin? Is it actin, myosin, troponin, or titin? And that answer there is A, and this is a straightforward level 1. This is not challenging. Actin forms the thin filament, which is wrapped by tropomyosin until calcium binding allows cross-bridge formation. Question 5. Active recovery after running is most effective when performed at what percent VO2 max? So think about this one, getting a little more advanced now. 20 to 30%, 30 to 45, 55 to 60, or 70 to 85. And the answer is B. Low to moderate intensity, about 30 to 45% VO2 max, really optimizes blood flow and facilitates lactate removal right after the exercise without adding additional metabolic stress. That is the key here. If you go higher up, that's basically you're still working out. It's not a recovery anymore. Question 6. Which component explains the elevated oxygen consumption following intense exercise? Is it steady state plateau? Is it EPOC? Is it oxygen deficit? Or is it your absolute VO2? The answer is B. EPOC, or your excess post-exercise oxygen consumption, reflects that ongoing metabolic recovery processes after exercise stops. Question 7. Which of the following decreases with aerobic training and improves the speed of reaching steady state? Is it EPOC, oxygen deficit, OBLA, or maximal heart rate? That answer is B. So aerobic training reduces that oxygen deficit by improving cardiovascular efficiency and mitochondrial function. Hopefully these are fairly straightforward here. I've been giving in parentheses kind of the point of these questions and what you're testing yourself on so you can check yourself as you go. Hopefully those are useful little tidbits. Now, time for some callbacks, right? Remember the spaced repetition and the interleaving study techniques that we talked about in lecture 1 and 2? Well, this is a callback from lecture 2. A movement requiring high power output for 10 seconds relies primarily on which system? ATP phosphocreatine, fast glycolysis, OX-phos, or the Cori cycle? And hopefully you know that is A. Any explosive movement under 10 seconds rely almost entirely on the immediate phosphocreatine system. Question 9, another spaced repetition, bringing it back from the prior review videos. In a sarcomere, which structure defines its boundaries? Is it the M line, the A band, the Z lines, or the H zone or band? And that is C, and this is just straightforward level 1. Each sarcomere is bordered by Z lines, making them the fundamental structural unit of skeletal muscle. And last question. During the transition phase from rest to exercise, which phenomenon explains the temporary use of anaerobic pathways before oxygen delivery catches up? Is that OBLA, EPOC, oxygen deficit, or passive diffusion lag? Hopefully you know this answer. And yeah, that is C, oxygen deficit. That reflects the early exercise mismatch between oxygen supply and energy demand before it can catch up. That's it. Quick, straightforward review. Hope you enjoyed these. I'll have more soon.